Hello and welcome to my review for I Love You Man, released in 2009. The reason I'm reviewing this is because Dinner for Schmucks hasn't come out yet over here, so I thought I'd pick a Paul Rudd movie to review. It has a story of the guy played by Paul Rudd who's getting married and he realises he doesn't have any best mates like male friends. He only really hangs out with girls. So he seeks out to find someone to ask him to be his best man. He meets Sidney Snife, I believe his name is, Snife, who's played by Jason Segel. And basically it's just their friendship and what happens there and how they complicate each other's lives and things. Okay, so this movie was really funny in parts, and then there were times where I felt it was trying too hard. I think it's a very enjoyable movie in some aspects, and then some of them just kind of went by the wayside. I think there's a period where when he meets Jason's character, and it just kind of moves along and nothing really much happens. I felt like some of the jokes were it's kind of cringe jokes. I don't mind cringe jokes because I really like The Office and Ricky Gervais's material, which is basically just cringe. But I think the issue here was that they did the same joke too many times, where he was trying to think of a nickname for Jason Segel and he kept coming up with stupid names, then he'd walk away and go, oh, that was stupid, like that, which is fine once, but they did it about 5, 6, 7 times. It was ridiculous, and it just kind of like they should have planned it out better so those jokes didn't feel, one, forced, and two, the character felt like he was actually moving. So then when the shift came where you felt more comfortable with him, it was too sharp. You know, there was no progression of the joke. There was no, it got less and less. It just stayed at the same level and was repeated, you know, for as long as you like. And I think if they just leveled it out and kind of made it more varied in a sense, and then kind of slowed it down, it would have made his transition and his comfortableness with Jason's character seem more natural. There were some jokes that just didn't work for me. Some of the bluntness of Jason's characters did not work for me at all, much like it didn't work for the character in the film. I like Jason Segel. I think he's one of his better ones. I did like him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but when I look back at that now, I don't know if I do like his character as much as some of the others in the film. But this one, he was pretty good. I didn't like his bluntness, but I like the laid-back style of his character. I mean, some of the plot things are a bit obvious, you know what's going to come, you know what's coming, and so on and so forth, and that's a bit weak. But there are some really standout jokes here, I must say. I did laugh out quite a lot on the bit at the beginning when they're in the car and they're on loudspeaker. Also, Jon Favreau, who's an actor and he also directed the Iron Man films and Swingers. He's in the movie and he's brilliant in the movie. He's a bit like Russell Brand was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He almost steals the show. There was one bit where Paul Rudd's character goes on a drinking game with them, plays like a drinking game, and he's all sick over Jon Favreau. But the only problem I have with that was, it was funny, it just felt like it was in another film. It felt like an Adam Sandler film or something. Speaking of Adam Sandler films, there was one more negative point I'd just like to say, was that they had Lou Ferrigno in there, who played Hulk in the original Hulk series. And just having a celebrity like that always reminds me of those kind of bad Adam Sandler movies. I do like Adam Sandler movies, some of them, but it reminded me of those bad ones where they have like stupid celebrities that just go, go man, just turn up and just go, yeah man, go for it little Nicky, or something like that. One of those really cheesy things. Or they have a celebrity just go and say, hey, you suck, like that. It just, oh god, it was very similar to that, and I could have done without it. But as I say, I've said a lot of bad things, but there were some really good jokes in here, and I've always said comedies are hard to review, because at the end of the day you end up just going, this wasn't funny, and that made me laugh. But they're kind of predictable in the sense of a narrative and a story, so there isn't much new to say on that side. So basically, to sum up, I'd say predictable story. Jason's character put me off a little bit. I think Paul Rudd was good though. Paul Rudd's always kind of likeable. And you know, fun. He's more of a reactor than anything else. He kind of stands and reacts to other people's stuff, and you know, kind of does his awkward kind of, oh, I'm too nice for this, you know, kind of attitude, which it works, so fair enough, and I liked it in this film. I thought the actress who played his wife was great in the film, as was Jamie Presley, who played her friend. As I say, there's some really funny bits, but I just found it was let down by a poor story and some jokes that just didn't hit with me. But I would recommend you see it. It's not as good as the Apatow stuff. I don't think. But it's still good. I think that's what it is. It lacks kind of deeper emotional stuff. But for kind of fun comedy with some really good jokes here and there, I would recommend you see this. Just don't expect level of Apatow. It's just a really decent comedy.